Our status quo today is clear. Under BBM, we are given the opportunity to make use of a democratic space in transition from the authoritarian regime that was Duterte's.
Hi everyone! There's a certain Janet Rice, one of the senator in Australia who protested during Marcos' speech, censured by colleagues. Janet Rice said that the action she took in the House was deliberate and it is powerful. And she said that she did that on behalf of every Filipino person whose human rights have been abused, says Senator Janet Rice. Hey, Senator, what the hell are you talking about? There's no such thing as human rights violation in the present administration. You know what? I could understand if you told that to Duterte administration, but to Marcos administration, never. There's no such thing as human rights violation in Marcos administration. And we Filipinos knows that, and even opposition. Senator Laila de Lima even called President Marcos Jr. as a blessing.
For the elite, therefore, Marcos is a blessing. He brought the rent-seeking order back to its favored normal and stable character, where everyone in the system gets a chance to partake of government largesse.
You know what? Before you take any action, you should research first if what's happening in the Philippines today. The political environment today is not bad. I could understand you if you raise your sentiments in the time of Duterte. But today, in the time of President Bongbong Marcos, are you insane, Janet Rice? Hey, do your research first before you complain and before you attack the government, before you attack our President Bongbong Marcos inside the Congress. Guys, let me just read this. Manila, Philippines. Australian Senator Janet Rice was censured by the Australian Senator because of her protest stunt while President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was delivering a speech before the Parliament in Canberra. The speech before the sanction was handed down on Thursday, February 29. Rice stood by her decision to raise a placard bearing the words "Stop Human Rights Abuses" while Marcos was addressing the plenary. Hello, there's no such thing as human rights abuses in the time of President Marcos Jr. The action I took in the House today was deliberate and it is powerful, and I did it on behalf of every Filipino person whose human rights have been abused by the government of President Marcos and the government of President Duterte before him, Rice said. Hello, former President Duterte only. Yes, there's a lot of extrajudicial killings, but now in the time of President Marcos, never. Put that on your mind. Insane senator. I learned and I heard firsthand about what is going on in the Philippines, where I learned about extrajudicial killings. Hello! That was in the time of Duterte, but not in the time of Marcos Jr. Where people on Trump-up charges are red tagged and then they are hunted down and they are killed, she added. She's out of her mind. Do your research first. You know what? You look like a fool. Because you're just like protesting. When you raise your placard, you're protesting to a president who's upholding the Constitution and who have a very high regard to human rights of every Filipino. Janet Rice, you're out of your mind. So next time, please do your research, okay? Before you engage in that kind of action.
Our status quo today is clear. Under BBM, we are given the opportunity to make use of a democratic space in transition from the authoritarian regime that was Duterte's. This is our breathing room from the 7 years of nightmare that we thought was all over in 1986 and never to return again. But it did, and it exploded like a bomb in our country, dividing the progressive forces, the elite, the middle class, and our families under extended family culture. In short, The Duterte regime was a kind of social disruption to the max. It was a complete break from the social norms that we got used to and we thought were acceptable to a people so historically destitute in their lives that they were ready to reject everything that we thought was decent in our society in exchange for something that promised change for better or for the worse. There is no assurance that our people in their search for genuine social transformation will not fall for the same smoke and mirror show of another populist local warlord. After 2016, this is the danger that always awaits our society. For the elite, therefore, Marcos is a blessing. He brought the rent-seeking order back to its favored normal and stable character, where everyone in the system gets a chance to partake of government largesse.